want to get to this story because this is this got me so angry today. It's been getting me increasingly angry, but we've been talking about libertarians and their utopia where there would be no government regulation, of course. You cannot in any way preclude the profit-making incentive or impetus in society. And there's a new report that, or not I should report, but in testimony yesterday, a West Virginia state official. Now, we know that Freedom Industries had this warehouse where they were warehousing all sorts of chemicals. And we know that they spilled, according to them initially, 7,000 gallons or so of a chemical called crude MCHM. There's been very little research on this in terms of its toxicity, although it's clearly toxic in some way. It turns out that on Monday, that it became clear that, in fact, not just 7,000 gallons were spilled, this is a coal cleaning chemical, into the Elk River, but in fact, 10,000 gallons of it. And it also said a second chemical, PPH, was also involved in that. Now, as of yesterday, testimony given in front of a legislative panel in West Virginia, Scott Simonton, a Marshall University environmental scientist and a member of the State Environmental Quality Board, said that he can guarantee residents in West Virginia are breathing in formaldehyde, which is a known carcinogen, a horrible carcinogen. And they are still doing it nearly 3 weeks after that chemical spill. It's frightening. It really is frightening, Simonton said. We know what scares us, and we know there's a lot more we don't know. What we know scares us. We know there's a lot more what we don't know. This is just unbelievable. There's no recourse here for West Virginian citizens. Freedom Industries is, of course, they declared bankruptcy. They have probably shuttled all their assets to another shell company, and they may or may not have some financial payment to make, but that's not going to make up for the future cancers, for the future birth defects, for the future health problems, for just the idea that we can't drink our clean water anymore. There's no recourse here. This is why we need, and West Virginia is a cesspool of lack of regulation. All the politicians there, Democrats, Republicans, have been bought out by the coal industry. It doesn't really matter. And we need more stringent federal regulations for this reasons. And it's just, these guys should be in prison. They should be in prison to send a message to the next Freedom Industries that says, you know, if we can actually save a couple of dollars here, let's forget our own quality control on where we're storing these horribly toxic chemicals.
Well, it's not unlike other companies are doing it. And like when the Exxon Valdez and that spills, they don't have to really clean it up. They don't have to really clean up. They don't have to really pay the fines. Or BP, I'm sure, has not had to live up to their responsibilities.
It's just the cost of doing business.
Yep.
It's like, you know, we got to buy a new steel factory. We also got to pay, 0.3% of our profits for that year, and that's just the cost of doing business. Big deal.